Very pleased to be here today. I really appreciate the Sun Belt Conference really stepping up and putting on a first-class media day here at the Superdome. It's a place we've been sort of familiar with the last 2 years, so it was brought back a lot of memories when we walked through today, looking out there at the field. Glad to be back in New Orleans. Was here earlier this summer on a little one-night family vacation, I guess you could call it. Nevertheless, really pleased to be back. Excited about the 2013 season. Our first 2 years, we felt like we have accomplished some good things, being 10-1 at home in the last 2 years, winning 2 straight bowl wins against good opponents, and then finishing both seasons with 9 wins. But one of our top goals of winning the Sun Belt Conference Championship we've not achieved yet. And so there's been a lot of extra motivation for our football team because we've got a lot of work left to do. Another point of emphasis everybody's asked about the conference, and I'm sure you'll have questions about that. I really think that this conference came out of all the realignment in great shape. Every team that made it to a bowl game is still in our conference, and then the teams that we're picking up are outstanding teams with outstanding coaches and programs. So I just think there's a lot of upside to the Sun Belt Conference. I think it's just going to even get better. And if you look at our head-to-head results in the last few years with other conferences, it's hard to deny the success that this conference has had. So proud to be a part of it. So with that, I'll open up with questions. Was not really sure. Like you probably saw my quote, we lost a lot of starters on the defensive side of the football. Did not really know where that might put us. But, everybody's a competitor, and I want to be, first at the beginning, in the middle, and the end, but more importantly, at the end. That's the most important time. But there's a lot of good teams in this conference. It's a deep conference. I don't think there's not one team in this conference that you can roll into their stadium or they come to your place and you can count on as a win. I think it's a really deep conference with a lot of good football teams. And if you look at the past few years, the only thing concerns me is people haven't done a very good job picking the champions.
People don't think you're as good as you think. Now you're at the top of the league as far as preseason poll. You have to change that.
Well, we've still got a little chip on our shoulder. We still have stumbled. Didn't win the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Lost 2 games in a row last year when Blaine Gaucher went down, and so that really left a lot of work left to be done, and it just sort of tarnished what was a great season. Just sort of for us, just sort of made it a good season. And so we still want to try to compete for that championship, that's for sure, and continue, to be honest with you, just continue moving our program forward. We've got long-term goals, and we hope that we can just take one more step toward that.
You think the preseason favorite probably should do more with your past than possible future? Winning the Rose Bowl the last 2 years and winning 9 games?
I don't know, and maybe so, but was there a lot of other bowl teams in our league, and Monroe is tied with us for first, and we have had our hands full with those guys, and very good football team. So a lot of good teams. It's to me, it's the hardest schedule I've ever been a part of. And I think we're one of only 2, and I think Monroe might be the other one, I'm not for sure, but we're one of only 2 teams in the country with only 5 home football games. And that's hard to do now. It's hard to win on the road in college football anywhere. And so that's going to make this season that much more challenging, especially coming out of the blocks with possibly 2 top 25 football teams when the rankings come out. And then, like you said, only two home games before November. 2 Tuesday night games, a Thursday night game, 2 open dates. So as a head coach has to do a schedule, it is a scheduling nightmare. And because it is not your Saturday to Saturday to Saturday routine that your players get used to doing. The routine's going to change an awful lot, and that's going to be a huge challenge to try to keep these guys in a routine because, to me, good teams are routine-oriented.